1. Introduction. I am Clarissa, and I want to tell you my story. It is an important story for me. It is a story about love, about loss, and about finding strength. It all began many years ago when I was 22 years old. At that time, I had a job I liked very much. I worked in a small shop in the town. This shop sold beautiful flowers. I loved being around flowers every day. They have many colors and nice smells. Flowers often make people happy when they receive them. I enjoyed helping people choose the perfect flowers for their friends or family. It was a simple, quiet life, and I was happy with it. One afternoon, it was a very sunny day. The light came through the windows of the shop. The door opened, and a man walked in. He was quite tall, and he had eyes that looked very kind. When he smiled, his whole face looked warm and friendly. He said his name was Bruce. He was looking for some flowers. He said he wanted to buy some nice flowers for a friend who was not feeling well. We started talking while I helped him choose the flowers. It was easy to talk to him. He asked me questions about the flowers, and I told him about them. He also asked about me, and I felt comfortable talking about my life. He told me things about himself, too. He had a good sense of humor, and he made me laugh many times. Time seemed to go very fast while we were talking. I felt very happy and light inside, like all my worries were gone. It was a wonderful feeling to talk and laugh with him. When he had his flowers, he did not leave immediately. He stood near the door for a moment. He looked at me again, and his smile was still warm. Then he asked me a question. He asked if I would like to see him again sometime soon. My heart felt a little jump. I wanted to see him again very much. I did not stop to think about it. I said yes right away. Yes, I said, I would like that very much. I felt very happy when I said it. He smiled even bigger then. He said goodbye and left the shop with his flowers. I stood by the window and watched him walk away. I was smiling a lot. Meeting Bruce that day felt like the start of something new and exciting. It felt like the first page of a new book in my life. I was happy I said yes. I was looking forward to seeing him again. 2. A new love. Bruce and I started spending all our free time together. Every moment we were not working, we were with each other. We walked in the park when the sun was out. We ate simple dinners at my small apartment. He always listened to me. He listened very carefully to my dreams. My biggest dream was to open my own small bakery one day. I wanted to bake cakes and bread and make people happy with food, just like flowers did. He listened and made me feel like my dream was important. He told me a little about his life. He worked for his family's company. He did not share many details about his family. He only said they were very traditional. They followed old ways. I did not think about this much at the time. I was simply too happy to worry about anything else. He looked at me in a way that made me feel like I was the most special woman in the whole world. He held my hand often. When he held my hand, I felt safe and warm. I felt deeply loved. For 6 months, my life felt like a beautiful, happy song. Everything was good and easy. I truly believed he was my forever person. I thought we would be together for the rest of our lives. This time was full of light and joy. Then, one morning, I woke up and felt different inside my body. It was a strange feeling. I went to the shop and bought a test to see if I was going to have a baby. I used the test in my apartment. The test showed 2 pink lines. 2 lines meant yes, I was pregnant. For a short time, I felt scared. It was a big thing. But quickly, the fear went away and I felt so happy. A baby, my baby, our baby. It felt like a miracle. I waited for Bruce that evening. My heart was beating very fast, like a drum playing quickly. I cooked his favorite food for dinner, pasta. When he arrived, I sat him down and told him the news. First, his eyes became very wide. He looked surprised. Then his face changed and he smiled. It was a very big, bright smile. He stood up and held me close. He hugged me tightly. "A baby, Clarissa," he said. "Our baby, this is wonderful news." We talked for many hours that night. We talked about names for the baby. We talked about changing a room in my apartment to be a baby's room. We talked about our life together with the baby. Our future felt real and close. I was so happy that I cried tears of joy. He said he would tell his parents about the baby and about us soon. He seemed a little nervous about telling them, but he said it would be okay. He promised me everything would be fine. I felt so sure of our love and our future together. I could not wait for our baby to come. This was the start of our family. It felt perfect. 3. Meeting the family. A week passed. Bruce seemed worried. He needed to tell his family about the baby. He said his mother, Mrs. Aliner, wanted to meet me first. He told me she was a strong woman, but he hoped she would like me. I felt nervous, but I wanted his family to accept me. We went to their house. It was very, very large, like a palace from a storybook. It felt cold inside. Bruce's mother, Mrs. Aliner, met us. She was wearing expensive clothes. Her eyes were cold, and she did not smile. She did not look at me much at first. She asked me many questions about my family and my life. Her voice was not warm, it was like ice. I felt very small and uncomfortable. Bruce tried to make the conversation easy, but even he seemed tense. Mrs. Aliner did not smile even one time while I was there. A few days later, Mrs. Aliner called me. She asked to meet me alone. We met at a restaurant. It was a very fancy place. She looked at me and spoke in a cold way. She told me I was not the right person for her son, Bruce. She said her family had an important name and position in the city. She said that a baby with me would be a problem for their good name. She called it a scandal. Then she took something from her bag. It was a check. She put it on the table between us. There was a lot of money on the check. It was more money than I had ever seen in my life. She told me it was for me. She said I should take the money, go away, and start a new life. She told me to forget Bruce and forget about the baby. I was shocked. My hands started to shake. I looked at the check, but I did not touch it. I told her, I love Bruce, and this is his child. She made a sound like a laugh, but it was cold and not happy. She said, "Love, that is not important. Bruce will do what is best for his family." I stood up from the table. I left the check there. I could not speak anymore. I felt tears in my eyes. I turned and quickly walked out of the restaurant. I ran outside and I cried. I could not believe what had just happened. 4. All alone. I told Bruce about the meeting with his mother. I told him everything. I told him about the cold words, the big house, and the money she offered me. I told him she said I was not right for him. I told him she wanted me to leave him and forget our baby. Bruce listened. He was very angry. He looked at me with love in his eyes. He held me close. He said his mother was wrong. He said he loved me and our baby. He promised he would never leave me. He said we would be a family. He said we would be together always. I felt safe again. I believed him. I thought we would face his family together. But the next day, Bruce was different. His eyes were sad. He did not smile. He looked very tired and worried. He came to see me. He sat down slowly. He told me about a talk he had with his mother. He said his mother gave him a very hard choice. She told him he had to choose. He had to choose me and our baby, or he had to choose his family and all their money and position in the world. She said if he chose me, he would lose everything from his family. Bruce looked at me. He looked so sad. He said he did not know what to do. He said it was a very difficult choice. He said he needed time to think, time to maybe talk to his mother again. He said he needed time to make things okay. He kissed me goodbye. He said, "I love you, Clarissa, trust me." That was the last time I saw Bruce, for a very, very long time. I waited for him to call. I waited for him to come back. 1 day passed, then 2 days, then 3 days. He did not call. I called his phone, but it was off. I tried many times, always off. I went to his apartment. The door was locked. I knocked, but no one answered. I went to his parents' big house. A man who worked there opened the door a little. I asked for Bruce. He said Bruce was away. He said Bruce was traveling and he did not know when he would come back. He closed the door. Bruce was gone. He chose his family. He chose the money. He left me. He left me alone. I was pregnant. I was alone. My heart felt broken into many small pieces. The man I loved, the father of my baby, was gone. He had left me. I felt so lost, so sad. I was all alone with our secret, our baby, and my broken heart. The happiness I had felt was gone. Now there was only sadness and fear. I did not know what I would do. I was alone. 5, my baby boy. The months after Bruce left were very difficult. I was sad and I was scared. I felt so alone. I lost my job at the flower shop. It was hard to find new work. I needed money. My apartment was too big and too expensive. I had to move to a very small apartment. It had only one room, but it was cheaper. I felt like the world was gray and empty. Then my son was born. He was small and beautiful. I named him Leo. When I held him for the first time, everything changed. My sadness was still there, but now I had Leo. He needed me. Looking at his face, I knew I had to be strong. He had Bruce's eyes, but he was all mine. Leo became my reason to live. He gave me strength I did not know I had. Raising Leo alone was very hard. Money was always a big problem. There was never enough. I had to take any job I could find. I cleaned houses for people. I worked late at night in a small restaurant. I sewed clothes for other people to earn a little money. I was always tired. Some nights after Leo was asleep, I cried because I felt so lonely and so tired. People in my neighborhood talked. They whispered about me. It was not easy to hear. But then I looked at Leo. His smile made everything better. When he laughed, I forgot the hard times. I watched him grow. He learned to sit up. He learned to crawl. He took his first step. He said his first word, Mama. These moments were like small lights in the dark. For him, I could do anything. For him, I was strong. I started to bake in my tiny kitchen. At first, I made cakes just for Leo. Then I made a cake for my neighbor. She liked it very much. She told her friends. Soon, people started asking me to bake cakes for them. It was a very small start. It was not much money, but it was something. It was my small dream beginning little by little. I was working hard for my baby boy. He was my everything. 6, a new start. After the difficult time, life slowly got a little easier. I was tired, very tired, and sometimes I felt very lonely. But Leo was growing. He smiled a lot. He learned to sit up, then to crawl. His first words were like music. His first steps were a miracle. Seeing him happy gave me strength. He was my hope. I spent a lot of time in our tiny kitchen. It was the warmest place in the small apartment. I started to bake. At first, I just baked simple cakes for Leo. He loved them. Then I baked for my neighbors. I gave them small cakes and cookies. They tried them and said they were very good. They started to ask if they could buy my baking. This gave me an idea. Maybe I could make some money from baking. I started to bake more. I baked cakes, cookies, and bread. I sold them to neighbors and friends. It was hard work. I baked at night after Leo was asleep. Sometimes I was so tired I could not think straight, but the money helped. Slowly, my small baking idea grew. More and more people wanted to buy my cakes. They told their friends. I dreamed of having my own small shop, a place where people could come and buy my cakes. a place that was mine. I worked very hard and saved every little bit of money I could. It took a long time. Years passed. Finally, I had enough money. Not a lot, but enough to rent a very small place. It was not a big shop, just one room, but it was perfect for me. I painted the walls a nice color. I put in a small oven and a counter. I put a sign above the door. The sign said, "Clarissa's Cakes." Opening the shop was a big step. I felt nervous, but also very proud. People from the neighborhood came. They bought cakes and wished me luck. My small dream had come true. I worked in the shop every day. Leo was often with me, drawing or playing in a corner. 5 years passed since Leo was born. He was not a baby anymore. He was a happy, active boy. He was 5 years old. He liked school and playing with other children. But sometimes he asked questions that were hard for me to answer. "Mama," he would say, "where is my daddy?" Or, "Why don't I have a daddy like Tom?" My heart felt heavy when he asked this. I wanted to tell him the truth, but it was too sad, too difficult. I just told him his daddy was far away. It hurt me every time. I tried to give him all the love I could, enough for 2 parents. Our life was good, but this question was always there, a small shadow. I wondered if Bruce ever thought about him. 7, he is back. 5 years passed quickly. My shop was open and doing well. Leo was now 5 years old. He was a happy, curious boy. He often sat at a small table in the corner of the shop. He liked to draw pictures with colorful pens. He was my world. One afternoon, I was serving a customer. Leo was busy drawing. The small bell above the shop door made a sound. I looked up and smiled, ready to say hello. But the smile stopped on my face. My heart felt like it stopped too, and then it beat very, very fast. It was Bruce. He stood just inside the door. He looked different from the man I remembered from 5 years ago. He looked older, and there were sad lines around his eyes. He was thinner than before. His clothes were expensive, but he looked tired. But it was him. The man I had loved so much, the man who had left me alone. He stood there for a moment, just looking at me. His eyes were wide with surprise. Then his eyes moved. He saw Leo sitting at the table. He saw the boy's dark hair like his own. He saw the shape of his face, so familiar. Bruce's face became very pale. All the color went away. He looked shocked, like he had seen a ghost. He took a step into the shop. Leo looked up from his drawing. "Mama, who is that man?" he asked in his small voice. Bruce didn't answer Leo. He looked at me again. His voice was very quiet, almost a whisper. "Clarissa," he said, is he mine? Is he my son?" A wave of anger came over me. It was hot and sudden like a fire. After all this time, after years of raising Leo alone, working hard every day, he was here, asking this question. "Yes, Bruce," I said. My voice was not loud, but it felt strong. He is yours. He is your son. You left us. He flinched a little when I said that. He looked down for a moment. He looked sad. Clarissa, I need to explain things to you. Please, can you listen? He asked. Over the next few days, Bruce came back to the shop. He waited until the shop was empty or Leo was not there. He kept asking me to listen to him. He begged me to hear his story. He told me about his mother, Mrs. Aliner. He said she had a lot of power over him then. He said she controlled his life. He said she told him many lies about me. She told him I had asked for a lot of money from her and then left him. She told him I didn't love him or want the baby. This was not true at all. He said his mother told him that if he stayed with me, she would take away everything from him. His place in the family, his job at the family company, all his money. She threatened to disown him completely. He said he was young and not strong enough then to fight her. He was scared of losing everything he knew. He said he had been very unhappy and miserable for the past 5 years. He said he thought about me and the baby all the time. He said he always wanted to find me again. He told me he recently found the strength to break free from his mother's strong influence. He started looking for me right away. He said he hired a person, like a private detective, to find me. This person found my small shop after some time. He stood there, looking at me with sad eyes. He waited for me to say something. I just looked at him, remembering the past, looking at the present and thinking of Leo. 8. What now? Mrs. Aliner, Bruce's mother, found out he had found Leo and me. She came to my shop. She was not calm or polite this time. She was very, very angry. She said bad things about me. She said I was trying to trick her son again. She took out a checkbook. She offered me money one more time. It was a big amount. She told me to take the money, leave the town with Leo, and never come back. For a short moment, I felt the old fear. But then I saw Leo. He was standing close behind me, looking afraid. My strength came back fast. "Please leave my shop, Mrs. Aliner," I said. My voice was shaking a little, but it was clear and strong. "My son and I do not need your money. We never wanted it." Just as she started to speak again, Bruce walked in. He saw his mother standing there. He heard my last words. In that moment, I saw him choose. For the first time, he stood against his mother. He told her she had no right to speak to me like that. He said Leo was his son, and he would not let her hurt us anymore. He told her to leave my shop immediately. He said if she ever bothered us again, he would end all connection with her and the family. She was so shocked and angry she could not speak. She turned and left quickly. It felt like a small, important win. After that day, Bruce started to spend time with Leo. I said yes, but I watched them closely. Leo was a little shy at first meeting Bruce, but soon he began to feel comfortable. He started to laugh at Bruce's jokes. He asked Bruce questions about things. It was strange for me to watch them together. It brought back some pain, but it also felt good to see Leo happy with someone who could be a father to him. Bruce often looked at me when we were all together. His eyes showed how sorry he was. He said sorry many, many times for leaving us. He said he wanted to make everything right, not just for Leo, but for me too. He told me he never stopped loving me. Hearing his words brought back many old feelings, the love I had buried, the deep pain of his leaving, the quiet pride in building my life alone. He asked me for a chance. Not just to be a father to Leo, he asked for a chance for us, for our family. The people in the town started to talk again. The rich son was back. He found the woman from the flower shop and his secret child. It was a new scandal. I thought about my life now, my little shop. My wonderful son, the strong woman I had become. I raised Leo by myself. I was strong. I knew I did not need Bruce to live, but Leo needed a father if that father was truly good and would stay. And what about me? Could I forgive him enough to try again? Was our past too broken? I told Bruce what he must do. If you want to be a part of Leo's life, I said, looking at him, you must earn that place. Every day, you must respect me. You must respect the life I have made for Leo and me. About us, about being a family, I said, that is a much longer story, a very slow story. Maybe we can write it together, or maybe not. I am not the young girl you left. I am Clarissa. I am Leo's mother. I raised my child alone. Our future is not clear now, but if we have a future together, it will be on my terms. He looked at me quietly. His eyes were full of hope, but also respect. He nodded his head slowly. I understand, Clarissa, he said, and I will do that. Our path ahead is not easy or clear. There is much that needs forgiveness, much that needs to be built again. The town will talk maybe for a long time, but now I feel a little less alone in facing it. I have Leo. I have my strength, and maybe, just maybe, a chance for a new story. But this time I am holding the pen.